Hello. Welcome in. This is Birds of a Feather podcast with your boy Q City.
Your boy Charles Bravado.
And we are back with our draft recap. All right, y'all. The draft is passed over the past couple of days. We're going to go ahead and break down some of our thoughts about the draft picks that we made. Obviously, the big trade. Look through some of our undrafted free agents. And then, we got to touch on this Jack situation. So, first things first, let's get to the picks. You guys who didn't hear us react to round one, I think we were both pleasantly surprised by what the Falcons were doing, how aggressive they were in getting two edge rushers. Just a quick recap on the first round picks. Taz, what you got on the two first round picks coming to Atlanta?
Wasn't a big fan of Jalen Walker just because I don't like small edges. James Pierce was my favorite player in the draft.
And I think one of the points that we brought out was the fact that prior year, James Pierce was mocked top 5 almost everywhere, unanimously.
Yeah. Because, going into this, I never thought that was a possibility that we'd get him.
Not at 27.
Due to some character concerns, he fell to us.
And we can't just breeze past it. We got to speak on these quote unquote character concerns, bro.
I mean, okay, so there's a thing where people say they don't know if he really loves football or, they just don't, like, he checks out or sometimes, but I don't really. I mean,
the checks out. I don't really see that on tape. Nothing I've seen says checked out.
Every now and again he might take a play off, but
my thing is the love of football. I get that because it does become harder. It does become a job and whatnot. But if he's productive, you're not going to care whether or not he loves the game. And I'm gonna be real with you.
Because the thing is, being good at the game. Unfortunately, you don't have to love it to be good at it.
That's facts. I love football. I cannot play it at a professional level.
Yeah.
You understand? I can't play it.
There are some fans out here that genuinely love the game more than people that play it.
Yeah.
You don't have to love it to be great at it. So, as long as you do what it takes to be great, if you love it or not, that ain't my concern. As long as you do what it takes to be good on the field and get his money, do your thing, Ross.
Exactly. And so you had I heard a couple run-ins with teammates, right? But looking at that Tennessee program, it seems as though there was a lot of friction in that locker room. And I don't cover the Tennessee enough to
between the quarterback.
Yeah, really report on it, but it seems like there's a lot of friction going on in that locker room just in general. So if we go down and ask about it,
Because it's like this. It's like he had the one off the field concern he actually had with a traffic stop. He gave the cop a little mouth. Whoa. He gave the cop
straight pause, my nigga. All right, hey, no. We're gonna be good this year. We talked about
it. He allegedly got an attitude with a cop. Who hasn't?
It's straight up. And that's somebody who lives in Tennessee. Let me tell you, bro. Tennessee ain't got no state tax. And for people who don't live in states without state tax, you know what I mean, bro. Tennessee ain't got no state tax, so they build revenue through traffic violations. That's one of the ways they build revenue. You know what I'm saying? But they just be stopping you. You know what I'm saying? So it's irritating. You know what I'm saying?
That
And
sounds
then,
like it's irritating.
huh?
I said that sounds irritating.
It is. It is. You know, like just today, literally, I seen a state trooper, like this is I'm going way off, but I seen a state trooper like in the cut on an on ramp, and my first thought was like, how is that protecting a servant? Like, who are you protecting a servant right there? You just trying to catch somebody doing something. But I digress. Doesn't change the fact that I'm in love with the James Pierce pick. Uh, he's a big advocate for leave when you can, right? Because they'll pick you apart. And I'm not saying he cost himself a whole lot of money with this past season, but like there were mocks legitimately that had him in the top five,
Yeah.
right? Coming into the season. The season unfolds. Tennessee doesn't do what everybody thinks is going to do, partly in part because your quarterback didn't play how you were planning on him playing. You know, kid ends up at UCLA. But like that puts stress and pressure on your defense. I'm all for, especially kids getting NIL now, but I'm a big proponent of leave when you can leave. I think even last year, when me and you were talking about it during one of the betting pods, and, you know, obviously he's the biggest name. We talked about Shador, right? And I think me and you both said if he would have came out last year as a junior, he'd have probably gone second, maybe third round, but possibly second, right? After that year at Colorado. Because people forget, John Elway got drafted with a losing record. Patrick Mahomes had a losing record, right? Granted, those guys are generational talents. Those guys are generational talents. But I think a lot of people could have saw Shador's traits and still liked him last year. This year kind of
but he had a better year this year.
He did. He had a much better year.
So that still doesn't make sense.
No, so to me, last year he could have been a second or third round pick. He had a better year, so it makes sense in his mind and everyone else's that he should have been a first or second round pick. So he carried himself as such. He made some missteps through the draft process. He ended where he ended. To be honest, I think by week 12 or 13, he's going to be Cleveland's starting quarterback. That's neither here nor there. We ain't got to talk about no other people's teams. That's one of those things where I feel like he didn't come out. He went back. He had a better year. And so he carried himself as somebody who should have been drafted in the first round, which by most metrics he should have. But I digress.
Like first or second.
First or second. First or second. Fifth is crazy. Fifth is crazy. Yeah, fifth is crazy. But speaking on our team, we didn't have a second round pick. Before we go any further. At 15, what am I doing? No thanks. All right. 15, getting Jalen Walker, like you said. My fault. 15, getting Jalen Walker, like you said, a little smaller edge, somewhat dynamic. I'm not going to lie. I wasn't in love with the pick. James Pierce, to me, made it better. But talk about the trade, what we gave up to the Rams.
I don't like everyone's making this huge deal of a trade. I don't think it's that big of a deal.
All you really gave up was next year's one.
And I don't even look at it like giving it up. All we did was like, hey, we're gonna take the one this year, you take on my next year. Cool.
That's really it.
Like, because we didn't lose anything. We just swapped the year.
Yeah,
everyone's talking about, we lost the first.
We got a first this year. We got two players this year. Yeah. So absolutely.
Like we didn't lose any picks this year. We technically lost the pick this year, but all we did was just move it up.
And to be honest, I don't think at all that that Raheem is on the hot seat. I really don't think Raheem's on the hot seat. I wouldn't say Terry's on the hot seat because I feel like through the draft, Terry cooks.
No. Well, in the first round, he cooks.
Yeah, but I think overall, when you factor in free agency, some of the decisions with the team, Kirk's big contract, I think people can start to look at Terry sideways, and he knows as much as everybody else that pass rush was an immediate need. So, if I'm giving up next year's pick, to make sure we have pass rush this year, I'm fine with it.
I feel like the way, because typically the way the Falcons draft is so far from what the consensus is. Like, this is like the first year that they have been on point with the consensus, and we'll get into it as we delve deeper into the remainder of our 5 picks. But like, I feel like maybe he finally got the training wheels took off, and they just let him do his thing.
Because I don't think that I don't believe he left the draft feeling like. I don't get me wrong. I know they go best player available, but I don't feel like he left the draft feeling like he didn't touch anything immediate that hadn't already been solved in like free agency or previous years drafts. Like, I think we talked about it. I would have loved a late round running back, right? Because you're probably going to lose Algier at the end of this coming season. I would have loved another developmental.
You can honestly get that any time, bro.
Yeah, but exactly right. I would have loved another wide receiver. But with the wide receivers
actually
we'll get to it. But with the wide receivers that came off the board at the time, you were picking in round 3. It was like, and then that moves us on to
going to take the receiver because our 3rd round pick was actually by most people regarded as the 2nd round talent.
Exactly. So let's get to it. Our 3rd round pick, I believe, was our still best pick of the draft. Well, 2nd best pick because I still feel like James Pierce is a blue chip. Xavier Watts.
Yeah, me too.
Xavier Watts was a ball hawk at Notre Dame. Good hitter, really, really good range. Fits seamlessly next to J3, right? Fits perfectly next to Bates. Does this spell that Simmons most likely won't get re-signed? Yeah, probably. Because like Xavier Watts should start. I don't see there was some discussion that who did they say he was going to it's gonna be an open competition with Helms. I think it was. I said, ain't no open competition.
Oh, you talking about on the Facebook group?
That man said it's gonna be open competition with him. I said, ain't no open competition.
Yeah, they talking about, man, Helms might be put on. I'm like Helms wasn't gonna stop him from seeing the field nowhere.
Yeah. No. I think Watts should most likely will be our opening day starter, and that's great value.
The only way that stops it is Fuller, but like even if he ain't day 1 starter, he gonna be starting by probably week 4.
Yeah, it's hard to keep that off the field. That's it. I feel like he was the steal of the draft. I feel like James Pierce was our best talent.
He was our steal. James Pierce is my favorite player, but the pick I probably like the most is this Billy Bowman pick that we got in the 4th round.
Sleeper.
Now, people gonna be like, "Oh, why did we draft another safety? He's not playing safety." Who I like to compare Billy Bowman Jr. to is he's in the same mode of like the Brian Branches and the Tyrann Matthews. When they both came into the league, they both started in the slot. Now, I think Bowman's going to be in the slot longer than they were because there's no clear avenue for him making safety. And that's fine. Stick in the slot. He's 5'10", about 200, a couple pounds off, but weight training going to get in there. He'll be 5'10", 200 slot. Good speed at 4.42 speed and physical for his size. Ball hawk too, because Xavier Watts had 13 picks, Billy Bowman had 11. And he comes from another SEC school in Oklahoma.
So, yeah, one of the things that all great trades. One of the things that I wanted to point out was when you look at some of our bigger losses last year, right? And I want to highlight 2 games specifically: the Seahawks game, I'm going to take a game from 2 years ago just to fit the narrative. The Lions game, the Seahawks game, and the Vikings game. We are absolutely killed by 3 wide receiver sets. And it's not that we are a liability in the slot, but like some of the concepts that we were running, zones got meshed up. Guys weren't able to stay where they needed to. And either a slot receiver, not either. Slot receivers got off on us, like a lot. Middle of the field was not secure. one of the things I always kind of point to is the that last touchdown before halftime in the Seahawks game, right? Where we're just giving up the middle of the field. Now, was there a little miscommunication between AJ and Jesse on that one? Yes. But like it speaks to a larger point that like we have needed slot coverage, like especially a difference maker in that position for a minute now. And I think he does fit that need.
I don't know if well, he has potential to be the maker, but to me, I look at him as more like of a more athletic Brian Poole. Better ball skills probably too. Um,
Really high on him. I like it. We'll see how he factors into the depth chart. Obviously we
honestly,
got AJ in the
yeah,
back.
he's playing slot. I
Yeah,
think he's going to end up because you don't even factor AJ into this. AJ's out corner.
yeah. AJ
Just
stays
talking about
outside, and then we got
yeah,
Clark, who right now is better as an outside corner, but he's
Clark.
so small.
Yeah, Clark's not out. It's still going to be Mike Hughes. It's actually another cornerback that's probably going to get some real push, and we're going to get to him in a moment. Um, but yeah, it's a starters going to be AJ Hughes, and then the slot is going to come down to Gold. My bad, Alford. His name is Glow, but Alford or Billy Bowman, and I think Bowman probably ends up seeing the field sooner than later in that slot position. Um, Especially given that Jeff Ulbrich had a hand in getting him here. Um, this because from the sound of it, Jeff Ulbrich had a lot of hands on this draft in terms of the defenders we got.
And it looks like it. All these guys are really good athletic profiles, fit needs on the team, which lets me know that Jeff came in and assessed his team very well. And as we get to the point that we're going to get to later, they fit his scheme specifically.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like that, and
Now,
y'all, we try to keep a flow for the show so that if you've watched us for any point in time, y'all know we can bounce around anywhere, right? So we try to keep a flow to the show. So if you keep hearing us say, "Oh, we'll talk about it later," it's because we trying to keep it going. You know what I'm saying? Because otherwise, we be out here in left field. You just be yapping. You know what I'm saying? Just be yapping. Um, let's go ahead and end the draft. I texted you immediately, but it's just because I wasn't overly familiar with this prospect. But in the seventh round, we ended up taking Jack Nelson from Wisconsin. You would like me. He's 4-year starter. Had injury issues very, very early in his career, but hadn't really had anything after that. Swing
how many
tackle.
injuries he had?
He redshirted his first. He redshirted his first year.
He got 50 games.
His first year, he redshirted.
Yes, that man got 50 starts.
Yeah, 51 games. Super durable. He was 4-year starter. You know what I'm saying? His first year he ended up redshirting.
That don't mean injury. That doesn't mean redshirt.
It said, all right, look, now I got to look up his profile.
Does it say injury? Because if it don't say injury, it just means redshirt.
I'm pretty sure it
I,
did.
I
Hold
didn't
on.
hear nothing about an injury.
Da, 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 da. Y'all, we're looking this up in real time. Don't judge. Da, 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 da. One game versus Michigan. Whitey redshirt.
Because freshman's redshirt. That's what they do a lot of the time. He was at Wisconsin. Like, hey, young buck, sit down.
Started all 12 games. Come on. All right, you're right. So super durable, no issues. My thinking is, I want to ask because Wisconsin's really known for offensive linemen. Why did he last all the way to the seventh?
That's a good question because I have no clue. Because like from what I'm seeing, like I've seen a lot of people have him rated like it's a fifth round pick, but like I really couldn't understand why he was here because like he had what's that division? Big Ten or whatever.
All Big Ten.
He,
Yeah.
he's been all conference like 2 or 3 times. Um, like he has some flexibility. He's played 13 games at guard, played the rest of his career at left tackle, and then when he got to the Senior Bowl or whatever, he practiced at right tackle, and he said he feels more comfortable at right tackle. So to me, that kind of thinks, hey, Kevin McGary, this last year of his contract, might be grooming him to be the replacement. Because he reminds me a lot of Kevin McGary. Longer arms though. But he's 6'7", 315, very athletic. So I really don't have an answer for why he was there in the seventh.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Don't look a gift horse in the mouth, right?
Yeah.
And seeing as that's going to be Penix's blind side, I wouldn't be remiss to go ahead and start grooming a replacement, especially if you're considering not paying Caleb. And we briefly talked about what the pay structure would be for some of the guys coming up, re-signing purposes, restructuring contracts or whatnot. You can't keep everybody, right?
Yeah.
You got to water both sides of the field. So if Caleb ends up being a cap casualty, already having someone familiar with the system, at that position of need and whatnot, I think is helpful.
It won't even be a cap casualty. It's just going to be just straight out, we're not resigning you.
Yeah.
Because this is the last year of his contract.
Yeah, you'll prioritize other people.
Yeah.
But, and hey, they might get something done during camp. We don't know what negotiations are going on and whatnot.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, there's always,
you know what I'm saying?
Always things going on.
Yeah, as of right now, this is the last year of his contract. All right, so getting into the undrafted free agents, because I feel like this is where the Falcons was cooking. Last year we had a decent crop late, but this one I love. Y'all know I'm a Miami fan. He transferred in Simeon Barrow Jr. I love him as a D line. Like, I love him as a down lineman, bro. And maybe just because I watched him this past year.
Miami.
Yeah. I watched him this past year. Nice, big body.
I wouldn't say big body.
We don't know exactly.
He's 6'1", 280. He ain't no big body. As a D tackle, that's not no big body.
Yeah, that's exactly where I was. This is exactly where I was finna go. This is exactly where I was finna go, because I was like, we don't know exactly what defense we're looking.
He's not playing. He's not playing edge, so he's small.
Yeah, that's my thing. So like, he's kind of a tweener in terms of.
No, he's not a tweener. He's an interior D lineman.
He's too big. He's too big to put him on the edge, right? He's
too short. He's too. Well, I can't say that because we got Jalen Walker on the edge. He don't have the explosion to play on the edge.
Yeah, and then he's not gonna run stuff you, but he's a big dude.
He's not a big dude. He's a pass rushing D tackle. He's 6'1", 283. You're not about to call that a big dude when he plays D tackle. In normal human terms, yes, he's a big man. In football player terms, he's a little nigga.
Hey, I love watching him. I think he's going to be.
I'm rooting for him.
Yeah, sensational. Like, but we live on the internet anyway. I enjoy watching him this past season. I really look forward to. I hope he makes a roster. Surprisingly,
I'm gonna be real. That's probably not happening.
No, I was about to say, surprisingly, that D line room done got pretty crowded, bro. Like,
yeah,
real crowded.
He might be a practice squad hero, but I don't see him on that 53.
Yeah, and that was surprising. If you would have told me that we had a pass rushing D tackle that, you look at his grade. Some people had him as a 6th round grade. You know what I'm saying? Didn't like high probability wasn't going to make the roster. You'd have told me that at the beginning of last season, I'd have been like, you out your mind. If you'd have told me that at the end of this season, with all the issues that we had getting to the pass rusher, I'd have been like, come on now. After the draft, after free agency, yeah, it's a high probability he might not.
I mean, for 6th round, I would have believed him.
It's a high probability he ain't gonna make it. But I'm rooting for him.
If you count on the 6th round of the season, you're not getting saved.
Yeah, I'm rooting for him. Now, going on our next guy.
Facts.
You know, we're gonna save him. We're gonna save him because I feel we're gonna talk about him in length. We did
Look,
picked up
if I'm just being honest, looking at this list, there's about 3 people that I feel strongly can make the team.
for me.
Other
It
than that,
was Simeon Barrow and then Nick Nash and of course Kobe Bryant. Right.
yeah,
We picked up a
mine
running back.
were
We picked
Kobe
up another
Bryant.
offensive lineman.
Mine is Kobe Bryant, obviously Nick Nash, and then Joshua Gray.
I
Because
figured
they
you
got
would
him
like
listed as
that.
a center, and we only have like one center on the right, one maybe 2 centers on the roster. So he has a good pathway to make the roster.
I like that, but we both are blinded by the sexy skill positions, uh, wide receiver, and then the flashy position on the defense, cornerback. Kobe Gray, I feel like fell into a
Joshua
lot of
Gray.
the same,
Or
huh?
you done mixed names up. You talking about Kobe
Oh
Bryant and
boy,
Joshua
I'm
Gray?
tripping. I'm tripping. Kobe Bryant, yo, I'm tripping.
Okay.
Kobe Bryant, I feel ran into a lot of the same issues that Shador had in terms of representation, interviews, et cetera, and it just wasn't as highly profiled.
I,
So
I, I, time out. I don't agree with
he had he had
that.
multiple tweets about he only want to play for these teams. He only want to do this, only want to do that.
Bro, that ain't why he dropped. Like, should he's
Well, enlighten us. You can give your take.
like he he has ball skills, but like he's a smaller corner. He's not that fast. He got like he's a skinnier corner. I ain't gonna say small. He's 6 foot, but he's maybe 180. But surprisingly physical for the weight. Um, should he ever got drafted? Absolutely. Undrafted is crazy. But even before all that, people had him going like 6th round. The highest I
And
think
he
was
had
4th round.
he had in his mind that he was going way higher than that. If you
And
see
we
if
probably
you
should
see
have.
his tweets, yeah, if you see his tweets, you see how he was talking. He had in his mind he was going way higher than that. Um, I'm not gonna
Because
lie
he
to
got
you.
ball production.
Yeah, I was about to say I'm not gonna lie to you. You said 6th round. I do trust your analysis. Some
But
like a
I'm not
couple
saying
months
from
I seen.
me. I'm just talking about from the people I've seen.
I saw Moss had him going in the third and fourth,
The highest I
legitimately.
seen was 4, but most I've seen were like 6.
And so, all right, so let's just say a 3 to 6 round ranking. Getting him as an undrafted free agent is a
That's huge.
steal. Yeah,
Yeah,
that is
because
regardless of how you look at it, it is a steal.
like he's someone I would consider a lot to make the roster at this point.
And he works on the boundaries. He's got a. I love Clark Phillips' heart, right? Like I love his heart. He go out there, he competes. He is small. You know what I'm saying? And like the last guy I seen at that size really spend a couple years thriving as an outside corner was like maybe Cortland Finnegan. I'm trying to
Brent
think.
Grimes.
Brent Grimes, yeah.
And Brent
It's
Grimes
a
is
tough
shorter.
life. It's a tough life. It's a tough life out there against those type. And it's not like he got the. He's fast. Don't get me wrong, but he ain't got like the quick twitchiness type of
He
thing.
fa- he fast to us in terms of the NFL. He average.
Pretty average on the speed. So it's like I love his heart. I love the way he competes. Kobe Bryant is he if he can make a couple splashes, I would not be surprised if he's like you said locked for the roster.
Look at the way I look at it with the corners. You gonna have obviously we not gonna mention AJ. There's no reason. Not even mention Hughes because he signed a 3-year deal for 18 million. So no, so like after them two, Clark, Mike Ford because he's special team, so he's gonna be on the team. Jacoby Bryant might be that last corner, and then everybody's going to just get cut.
Yeah.
Hey, look, Jacoby. I, I I'm calling you Jacoby until you earn the Kobe for me. Your name is Jacoby. That what you said. You said people call you Kobe, or people call you Mamba. You Jacoby until you earn it. When you make the 53, then I call you Kobe.
Yeah, I saw the post that had him wearing number 2, and I'm gonna be honest
Yeah,
with you.
nah.
No, I'm be real with you. Because I kind of fall in a controversial piece of this camp. I'm fine with 2-11 on defense. I'm not gonna lie to you.
But the thing is, he ain't getting it.
Nah, probably not. Probably
Because
not.
the
But
thing,
I'm just saying. I'm saying for future reference. I'm fine with 2 and
no,
11 on
because the
defense.
thing, no, but the thing is, even if he, because I think Jalen Walker's going to get no. Two, even if it wasn't circulation, Jacoby wouldn't get it because he's undrafted. We got other rookies that were drafted; they get first dibs, including someone that wore number 2 in college in Bobby Bowman. Jacoby ain't getting 2, even if he
Nah.
wanted it.
Yeah, it's a high probability. What's it called? When I look at it, I think that Kobe has a high probability to make the team. I would hate for Clark Phillips to get cut. That's just the way that the cookie crumbles.
I don't think Clark getting cut.
Depending on how many corners we can. I wouldn't even say corners. Depending on how many DBs we keep, because I think we're gonna roll possibly get an extra safety. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Like,
well, because Bowman's kind of like a weird. Because Bowman's like a safety / corner.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's kind of the DB like the DB situation in total. If you can get more value from somebody like Bowman who can play slot corner and 3 safety sets or fill in for an injured safety player, does he provide more value that kind of pushes one of those corners out of the room?
You might be looking at about like 9 to 10 DBs.
Total. You know what I'm saying?
4 safeties. Bowman kind of like that 5. Then you looking at 5 corners. Bowman's kind of like
that. That's what I'm saying. You get that value. You get that value having him on the team.
5 corners, 4 safeties, and then Bowman kind of like the middle guy. He make it 10.
So it does make it a little bit difficult to make the roster, especially when you got, like you called out, you got AJ, Mike Ford, you got Jesse, you got Xavier Watts is making the team. Yeah. You got Mike Ford,
probably already said Ford. Hughes. Jordan Fuller.
Like you got some people that just ain't leaving. You know what I'm saying? And how many spots are really open there? Things are going to be a lot of competition, but I look forward to it. On the offensive side of the ball, they went with production. You know what I'm saying? The running back they got from Michigan State produced, but we want to talk about production, Nick Nash.
Yeah, and I think Nick Nash is another one who's going to make the team, and I think he even has wide receiver 3 upside.
I think that Nick Nash fell victim to a bad conference that was folding, that teams really had to copy, patchwork games together.
The same conference that Ashton Jeanty was in. Okay, got you.
I mean, hey, you want to keep it a bean? You want to keep it a bean? Like Ashton Jeanty, I got my topics on Ashton Jeanty, especially in his.
I mean, I'm an Ashton Jeanty fan. I'm just saying, hey,
especially in his big games. But I think that Nick Nash kind of fell victim to the fact that he did not play one NFL corner this season. Last year, yes, not this season. We can go look.
I have no idea who they even play with, so.
Oh, I'll look it up for you, because that was one of the knocks on Buddy. Game log. Oh, don't only bring up his Falcon stuff. Come on now. Here we go. Fresno, Nevada, Air Force, Sacramento, Stanford, Oregon State, Wyoming, Colorado State.
Stanford got some corners out there. I'm pretty sure Stanford got to have somebody. UNLV was a good team. They probably got somebody. Boise State might have somebody. I'm pretty I believe he played. So he played some people. It may not have been, but I just refuse to believe he ain't got no one that won't be drafted within the next few years at least.
Yeah, as of right now, Didn't play one. In the next 2 years, all right, cool. We'll see. Maybe it looks different. That was one of the knocks on him. Highly productive though. When we look at his potential, I'm not gonna lie to you. I haven't broken down his route tree at San Jose deep enough to know like how it translates to the pro level. When I look at the production, I look at the quarterback situation. Yeah, the guy can produce. Get him on the field and see what he can do. Right?
What I like about him, I like receivers. Like, he's an older rookie. He's like 25. But I think he was in college for 5 or 6 years. He played 3 years as a quarterback, and then he played 2 or 3 years as a receiver. Um, with him having that quarterback experience, changes the way that he views defenses and coverages, which I think helped aid him into. I mean, if this dude played quarterback his whole career, and his whole life, and then he's only played receiver for like assumingly 2 or 3 years, to put up that type of production in college, you got to understand coverage.
And for those who ain't following, we say production. He was one of the first wide receivers in the past. How many years has it been? Fucking forever to win the Triple Crown.
Yeah, 104 catches, like what, 1,200 yards,
almost
1,300
almost
yards,
1,400
16
yards.
touchdowns. Like,
Yeah, 104 catches, 1382.
He's not the most fleet-footed athlete,
16
but yeah, like he had he's 6'3", 205, ran a 4.57, so like he has adequate speed. Probably he might be a little faster than Drake London, or maybe right on par. But he has great hands.
That is something that shows up. Not even just in highlights, just like any type of tape you look at him. That ball's coming in. Yeah. Plucks it out of the air, keeps his hands away from his body, all the things that you tell wide receivers. But in another part of it, it is what you kind of expect from a player who's been in college for a long time. That's one of the knocks on Shough, right? Whatever.
Well, the thing is, Shuck. This isn't Shuck. That's how you say it.
There we go.
Stupid as hell. But Shuck has only played quarterback times. This dude, Nash has changed positions. It's a difference.
But it's like you've seen almost every defense. You've been in college for a long time. They expect you to.
I get what you're saying, but it's like he completely changed perspective. Like, so he's having to learn a new position, because even though you as a quarterback you know where the receiver supposed to be, you still ain't Random Ross and had to go across the middle and be like, "Hey, you got to catch this ball. I don't care if the linebackers come and hit you. Catch the ball."
Yeah, you got know when to look back at the cornerback. Know when to look back at the quarterback.
It's totally different. It's totally different mindsets with those positions. So, like, I'm not going to count that as the same as someone who has spent. Tyler Shuck got to college. He was Justin Herbert's backup of Oregon.
Which is
Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert has been in the league and got a contract already.
Yeah, it's bananas. It's bananas.
And this dude just got drafted.
What do you say? He'll be 26 when the season starts?
Yeah, if he ain't already. And on top of that, he only has 20 games played.
It was the bet. The Saints deserve him. I love that for them. I love that for them. I love that for them. And Derek Carr might be out for the season because his shoulder messed up. So I love that for y'all. I hope y'all figure that out. Or don't, actually. I hope y'all don't figure that out. But those were really only the undrafted free agents. Everybody else, it's a long shot to make the team. We'll do some stuff over the summer talking about the schedule and camp battles and whatnot. But I'm excited. I think that we came away from the draft and undrafted free agency looking very optimistic about where this team is.
I'm excited.
All right. So on to the next topic. This is one that we had the NFL up in arms, the NFL world up in arms about. So everybody witnessed Shedeur Sanders slide in the draft, right? Unprecedented or not, whether you think he was fitting up his draft position or not, right? Like there's a couple of videos circulating of people calling fourth, fifth, sixth round. And my thing is, those things look amazing in hindsight. In the moment, they sounded crazy because they kind of were. Most people had a second round grade on them, but with quarterback inflation, you thought first round. Him getting past the third was crazy, right? The fourth was just like, wow. So, like, yeah, he had a slide. During that time, Jack Solbert, the son of our defensive coordinator, decided to prank call Shedeur. He also has been connected to prank calling several other players during the draft. He accessed that information on his dad's iPad while he was in the home or vicinity of his father without his knowledge, right? Shedeur handled it super mature. Go ahead.
Not to save him, but he didn't actually make the call.
He didn't actually make the call. He gave it to his friends to do. But he was present while it was happening. Yeah. Where was I? To his father's knowledge, the Falcons have decided not to punish Jeff Ulbrich for the situation. The NFL is going to have an investigation. The Falcons have said that they are extremely cooperative of the situation, and that is the full context, right? Let me be very clear with what I'm about to say. This is not a racial matter to me because I believe it as much for Shedeur as I believed it for Tyler Warren, which is the other player that was involved in the situation. I believe I believe Jeff Ulbrich should be fired. Not because I want to lose our defensive coordinator. I'm super excited about what we're going to do this season. I think the picks that he made in every reporting said that he had a big hand in making, show that he has a future and a vision for our defense. I work in corporate America. If you cannot secure private sensitive information and then an adult, because we got to stop calling him a kid. He's 21 years old. There were people that were younger than him that were drafted that same day. He is the same age or older than like everybody that he's pulling these pranks on. They're peers. All right. He's 21 years old. And if we have a standard for Baker Mayfield having a, police video out there, or freaking, what's his name with the gas mask, we have the same standard for a kid willfully taking a moment to ruin the biggest day of these athletes' lives. This is you see guys crying. It was that one dude who was on the phone. I think it was Tampa Bay when they drafted him, and it was all over the NFL thing because he was like, "Bro, y'all changed my life." You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all changed my mom's life. Y'all changed my brother's life. Like, y'all changed, or it's the Rams. He's like, he wanted to be put on speakerphone so he could tell everybody in the Rams organization, like, y'all changed my life, bro. This is the biggest day of these people's lives. You took a moment that was supposed to be special, that was supposed to be sacred, and for your own kicks and giggles and purposes, decided to play on the emotions of the young men who made the sacrifices to get there. If under any circumstance I had sensitive information in my possession, and then an adult came and with my negligence was able to access that information and then cause malicious intent, be it legal or not, I'm getting fired. And the fact I'm getting fired, and the fact that the Atlanta Falcons organization doesn't have the same exact standard is a little bit disheartening. And I say all that saying I don't want to lose our defensive coordinator at all, right? Like, I want him on the team, but that's just kind of a blanket statement on my thinking of the situation.
That's a bit dramatic to say it's disheartening, but
what did you think about it?
I mean, I don't think he should lose his job, but I mean, the NFL is looking into it, and it's more of a protocol thing. Like they're just going back and just adjusting the protocol so this other thing can never happen again. Because if anything, they just showed there was a hole in the system.
And like, I hate these false equivalencies that people are bringing up on, oh, so and so, like Cooper DeJean got prank called last year. Like, first off, we didn't notice it happened in real time. That was first off, we didn't notice it happened in real time. He reported on
Okay,
it
hold
after the
on.
fact.
Time out. Whether it happened in real time or not, it don't matter. It happened. Don't
No, no,
discredit
no.
it.
But that speaks to the point. That speaks to the
Look,
point.
the real time thing is irrelevant. It happened.
No, it speaks to the point that these holes existed before, right?
Yeah.
And like whatever the NFL did to shore it up, obviously did not work. And so what you're doing is you're having moments where Cooper
Well, a lot of times
DeJean,
they probably didn't even know how it happened.
yeah,
This time
Cooper
it was
DeJean,
like,
he didn't answer the Eagles' call, right? The Eagles had to call his agent. That's how many prank calls he was getting, right? The Eagles could not contact him. They had to call his agent. He like shut his phone off because like I think he said starting from like pick 15 or 16, every single pick team like somebody was calling him. So oh, we're taking you here, we're taking you here, we're taking you here. And like, do you understand like how messed up that is? And the fact that people take joy in that, like, it's not illegal. It is not illegal to make a crank call. That's not what I'm trying to get at. I am saying you a
it's
little bit
poor
rotten on
taste.
the inside. You a little bit rotten on the inside, bro.
Like
You know
for
what I'm
this
saying?
particular thing, it's poor taste in my opinion.
What's up?
I said for this particular thing, it's poor taste.
It is. It
Like
is. Like,
I don't mind a good prank call. Not like this though.
like that. You a little rotten on the inside, bro. And I think Jeff got a and me and you we talked about this at length the other day. But I think Jeff got to square that. You know what I'm saying? In terms of like, this is the type of human being I raised, man. You think this is funny. Jeff was a former NFL player. Knows the sacrifices that it took to get there. And you raised a spoiled, entitled brat who thinks it's funny to take pleasure in other people's pain and like their disappointment. That's who you raised. That's who got your last name. Now, I think Stephen A. said it best. I don't like ripping like referencing other shows because y'all feel like I feel like I'm ripping off him. But like one point he did bring out, it's a mandatory ad whoop. It's mandatory.
Yeah.
Mandatory. You gotta see me. You gotta see me. And I ain't talking no go grab the belt from the like back room type stuff. I'm talking, hey, I'm outside. 2 pairs of gloves. What's up? In the front yard. You gotta see me about that. Do I think that he's going to lose his job? No. I I I do believe the Falcons when they said I don't think he had anything to do with it. Those people that are claiming that like, oh, he knew, he gave his son the number, blah. I don't
Why would he
believe.
do that? Like the people who think that. Let's be logical for a second. Why would he do that? Because the thing is, if he get like, there's no reason for him to ever give this number to give an NFL prospect's number to his son. There's no reason for it
Nah.
because whatever happened can be traced directly back to him. So why would he knowingly do that?
Yeah,
There's no
it
reason.
was his kid acting stupid. And to be honest, everybody said what the Giants GM's daughter went to Ole Miss. That's who everybody thought it was at first, right? Had he not been in the video, it would have been way harder to pinpoint where exactly that call came from. Who accessed the information to get that call? But this dumbass thought it was cool, put it in a video, sitting over in the corner. I think one of the things that you talked about was like peer pressure. Like you think that this is cool, you think this is funny, and you around a bunch of dumbasses that think it's cool and funny, or that unconvinced you that this is cool and funny. You could have cost your dad his job, and almost certainly, I can tell you from working in corporate spaces, once there's a breach of like trust and confidentiality, it is going to be very hard for Ulbrich to continue to progress the way he is. I don't think it's going to stain him forever, right? Might slow down the tracks a little bit. There's only 32 of these head coaching jobs. Let me ask you: do you feel like the Falcons' defense is going to be markedly improved this year?
But their stuff, the talent,
Talent's
I,
better, right?
I can see about like what were we feeling like 26 last year, 25. I I I can see us getting to like 16.
Okay, and factor in the fact that we should, over the duration of the season, have a better offense, right? Your offense is going to help your
I don't know
defense.
about better because we didn't really add anything. We got a little worse at center, so I can't say better, but
Let's just say
offense is typically yeah.
a consistent offense throughout the season, right? But doesn't have as many up and downs. You could build a defense around that. You build a good plan. He was the interim head coach with the Jets last year. He dealt with the tough situation. He dealt with the feeling like people on the team was quitting on you. He dealt with the superstars. He dealt with benching Aaron Rodgers, bringing him back, all that stuff. All that stuff. Dealt with that last year. He was an interim head coach. Already has the experience. What did we talk about with Raheem when we brought him back? Oh, he led the team back in 2020, going through that tough time, right? Because that experience matters. And then what did Raheem do? He went and coordinated for a defense that had a really good offense, took some people who, he took the greatest D tackle ever, and then after that, took some people who weren't that great, right, and turned them into a good defense. Yeah. Ulbrich was on I won't say is on the exact same path. You can't keep your laptop secure. How I know you can keep a defensive playbook secure? How I know your kid.
Kyle Shanahan lost the playbook and he still got a job.
Which is true, which is wild. But like the fact that it could negatively impact your dad lets you know that, like, bro, you're not thinking. It's silly. It's stupid. And I did silly and stupid stuff at 21. But I'm also not absolved from the consequences of doing silly and stupid stuff at 21. I did silly and stupid stuff at 21. I'm still paying for it at 30, 32, whatever. Sometimes your consequences follow you. It is what it is. I feel like we don't face consequences enough a lot of times, especially depending on the people that we are. And type person is, good in the money at a 4-year institution. Most likely nothing's going to happen from you. You think that sorry to Shedeur was the end of it. I think you should get your ass whooped.
Definitely should get his ass whooped.
You get your ass whooped, bro.
So the thing is, he hang around Ole Miss. He would even go to Ole Miss. That's the crazy thing.
That's the crazy part about it, bro. You at this big school, you thinking these people is your friends. Now, one of the things that me and you had discussed, this is highly unlikely. The NFL is investigating, right? The whole freaking draft basically became about where Shedeur was going to go. So this became a way bigger story than it actually needed to be, right? Because I'm going to tell you straight up, to the NFL exec that leaked Cooper DeJean's number, if the protocols was the exact same as it was last year, because Shedeur did a great job of detailing what the account was. And, he said it in slang or whatever. Every internet person was able to bring it up. The NFL basically sent out an email, right? And they was like, hey, through this draft process, this is how we're going to contact you. We need your email and we need a phone number. Boost Mobile sent him specifically a phone for that, situation. And then I'm guessing you created an email specifically for that situation. So getting calls on that phone, prank calls, was like, okay, this is obviously a breach of information. I don't know what the process was with Cooper DeJean last year, but if the process was the exact same, whatever executive gave that, should be fired. Breach of confidentiality. Regardless, the NFL is now involved, right? If this is just hey, we're going to shore up protocols, we're gonna tighten things up, we're maybe going to send an update out to say, hey, you got to change your password, or maybe every device that stores NFL information now requires Face ID, something like that. Most corporations do things like that, where it's like, you're required to change your PIN every 6 months, or the device that you have company information on can't be on a public network, whatever, right? If the NFL chooses to do that, and it's just like, hey, this was an unfortunate situation, cool. The NFL spent all weekend getting called racist in the old boys club, highly publicized fall of one of the very prominent cocky black men in the draft. If they decide to put the hammer down and say, hey, we're going to fine heavily or, Lord forbid, take draft picks, that is when I do think, because the Falcons have already said we're not going to discipline him. If that happens from the NFL standpoint, I think Ulbert may be in some trouble for his job.
Yeah, I do remember when we had this conversation,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like at first I was thinking, yeah, if it ends up being a little higher than the punishment, he's gone. But it's like the damage is already done. Like it's tough. It's tough to see them still firing. Like now, would they be looking for a replacement probably after this season? Yeah, his stint might be short, but it's tough to see them fire him this season, especially after investing so much into that defense. At some point, you
They
got
did. I'm really excited for what this defense is going to look like this year.
Like at some point, they go like, we got to put us first, and we gonna figure out the long term later. But hey, yeah, he might be like on a probationary period for the rest of the season, and whatever happens, happens.
All right, so I feel like that was we touched on pretty much everything we wanted to get on. Did you have anything else? Did I miss anything? I don't feel like I did.
Yeah, I think we did.
Nah, draft picks, Ulbert. We're good. See, this is why we keep a flow, people. This is so like, subscribe. We'll be putting out content throughout the summer. Appreciate y'all. Thank you for all that you do. If you follow the lives, definitely want to get and hear your chats, get some feedback from y'all. Always open in the DMs for City Talk. Follow us at BOAF Media on all social platforms, and then usually Taj and my personal handles are in the description. Appreciate y'all. It's been your boy Q City.
The boy Tyler Waddle. We out.
And we out.